Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So The Walking Dead finale was last night. These are going to be my season 7 predictions, so just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen last night's episode. I know a lot of you guys are still pissed off about the WTF cliffhanger. They essentially withheld the person that actually does end up getting Lucille. In the way they filmed it, the way they talked about it, the actors, after the episode, it sounds like even the actors have no idea who ended up dying. The way they filmed it sounds like they had Negan just beating a dummy and they had the camera filming it that way. They didn't film it from an alternate direction where someone actually gets their brains bashed in. That would mean when they start filming season 7, they'd have to reshoot part of that scene from a different angle. I don't know if anybody's up for a contract renegotiation, but that's the perfect way to do it. Like, oh, we haven't decided whose brains we're going to bash in, so anybody that wants to hold out for more money on next year's contract, just please come see us. We're totally happy to give you the business end of Lucille. So it's not really going to figure into any of my predictions as to who is getting Lucille, but I do think that they'll go the comic book route. My alt pick would be Eugene, just because he's already given them the recipe for making bullets, and that alone would be enough to keep them alive. Any other group that would try to take the safe zone probably would not know how to make bullets, so the ability to do that is kind of like a get out of jail free card for the Saviors, within reason. Negan is still going to be like, give me all your stuff, but he's not going to kill them because he would need bullets. But here are my actual predictions. Some of these will seem pretty straightforward because they're doing a lot of comic book things, but remember, sometimes they'll switch the people that are involved with comic book storylines. Denise Cloyd is a really good example of that. She's still alive in the comic books right now, like where we're at in the story, but she's been killed off on the TV show. So here we go, next prediction. Rick's personality is going to head in the direction that his comic book personality heads. I think the best way to put it is that he's going from porch dick killing Rick to limp dick Rick. He's not the most exciting character for a while, and I feel like this experience with Negan, and just looking at his face here, is really going to cause him to backpedal on his hardcore nature. You can call him gun-shy, whatever you want to call it, he's just not going to be as hardcore as he's been. Next one, teenagers like to rebel. Carl is going to go in the opposite direction and get super hardcore, which he does in the comics. Now, the way Carl's comic book story plays out, he's way younger, so there's a bit of a different relationship between him and the other characters. But I know for a fact that Chandler Riggs reads the comic books, and I will tell you that there is no person on the cast that is more excited about Season 7 and Negan than Carl is. If you've read the comic, you probably know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get super spoilery, but suffice to say, Carl has one of the most interesting story arcs for what's likely going to be the next 2 seasons of the show. So if you're really bummed about Rick sucking butt in Season 7, Carl is going to be awesome. Next prediction, Carol will also come around. She's been on this Season 4 to Season 5 Rick arc, where in Season 4, Rick was kind of gun-shy. By the time we get to Season 5, he grew out the crazy neck beard and went hardcore. Carol's kind of on an arc like that. I feel like this experience will slowly bring her back around. She'll level out, and even if she's not as hardcore Terminator as she used to be, she'll still be able to be a badass. Number 5, I know some of you are big fans of this. Rishon is going to continue to be a thing. Rick, like I said, gonna suck some butt. Michonne will still be hardcore, so I feel like she'll balance him out a little bit. She'll keep a lot of his scenes from dragging the momentum down. Next prediction, Negan is going to continue to be a huge character for the next couple of seasons, not just Season 7. It's not going to be like a Governor thing where they just kill him off after a season and a half. He will continue to be a very big character for the next many seasons. Maybe not forever. I don't know if we're going to get 10 or 12 seasons of The Walking Dead. Who knows how long it's going to go. But for at least the next 2 seasons, he is going to be heavily featured, just as much as you would see Rick. Next prediction, I know a lot of people are wondering about Maggie's baby. She'll totally have the baby, she'll get better. On the positive side of things, if they go the comic book route with the death, she'll be like the strong single tiger mom. Think Rick raising Judith, only from more of a female perspective, kind of getting right what they got wrong with Lori. Lori was a terrible mom to Carl. She never knew where he was, so Maggie will probably get the mom arc that Lori never did get. Next big prediction, we'll meet all the big Kingdom characters. We'll meet Ezekiel. They might save him till a little bit later on, but they're taking Carol there right now, so we might meet him sooner rather than later. I don't know if they're going to do Shiva. It depends on what animal control laws are in Georgia. The Walking Dead producers always try to do comic book things when they can, but it's one thing to film with a dog and a horse. It's another thing entirely to film with a tiger. So there might be some unforeseen production problems, but I think they'll definitely try to do Shiva. Next big prediction, Negan and the Saviors, from a narrative perspective, will be treated just like the survivors. As in, we'll learn more about their culture, we'll learn more about their daily life, because it's a huge group, it's really complex. If you feel like things have gotten stale in the safe zone, Negan and the Saviors living in and around the Foundry are the antidote to that. So even though they'll continue to be the villains, like they'll always be the villains of the series, it'll be like Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities kind of situation, where you have two really big locations and you bounce back and forth between them equally. Last big prediction, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree about this, because The Walking Dead wants to keep going as long as possible, they make a ton of money on this series. I think they're going to hold off on all-out war as long as possible, but they will build towards that at the end of Season 7. But I don't think that we're going to get to all-out war at least till deep in Season 8 and Season 9, just because I really feel like they want to get to at least 10 seasons. In All-Out War is this really big comic book event that spans 2 full volumes, is this big epic shit show that Robert Kirkman wrote. So they're definitely going to do it eventually, but I think they're going to try and save it as long as possible. Let me know in the comments though, who is your Lucille death prediction for the beginning of the season? And how long do you think that they'll keep Negan on the show? Do you think that Negan's going to be around for like the next 2 or 3 seasons? I feel like that'd be a pretty smart move on their part. Do not blow your all-out war wad right away. And just to be clear, I have talked about how I think Season 7 will borrow a lot from Volume 18 in the comic. All Out War is volumes 20 and 21, so there's a whole bunch of comic book stuff they can do before they do that. Giveaway time. Congratulations to my finale giveaway winner. Thomas Knowles, you win a $20 Amazon gift card. Be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. That's just on the About page. What I'm going to do, because Fear the Walking Dead is starting next week, I'll do an episode 1 video for that. I don't know if I'm going to do videos for every single episode. It just seems like people aren't quite as excited about Fear the Walking Dead as they are about the main series. And Game of Thrones is ramping up, and that'll be my Sunday video starting at the end of the month anyway. So we'll just see how it goes. If everyone really likes Fear the Walking Dead, then I'll keep doing regular videos like I would normally do. While you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here for my finale WTF Negan video, and you can click here to learn all about my favorite Game of Thrones characters that the TV show has completely cut out from the books. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.